Hi there, good morning. Thank you all for being here. Peel Regional Police Road Safety Services commenced an investigation in fall 2025 involving a company that was suspected of manufacturing and selling fraudulent license plates. This investigation commenced as a result of numerous isolated incidents investigated by Peel Police throughout the summer of 2025 involving license plates manufactured by this company. Investigators determined that this company sold fraudulent license plates both through an online platform and temporary retail booths. The investigation identified that fraudulent license plates made by this company were involved in more than 30 criminal incidents throughout Canada, including carjackings, organized auto theft, fraud, firearms offences, and several flight from police cases, as well as other criminal incidents. On April 7th, Peel Regional Police officers executed multiple search warrants in the city of Hamilton and arrested 2 individuals without incident. A significant amount of offense-related property was seized, some of which you see before you today. Avery Macleod-Nolk and Tyler Matthew Macleod were arrested and charged with the following offenses in relation to this investigation: unlawfully making marks, selling or possessing counterfeit marks, affixing a mark, and possession of property obtained by crime. Both accused were released on Form 10 undertakings and have appeared in court to answer to these charges. Prosecution is ongoing at this time. We would like to thank members of the Hamilton Police Break-in Enter Unit and the Halton Police 1 District Auto Theft Investigations Team for their assistance in this investigation. If there are any questions in relation to this investigation, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Detective, was this being all run in the open? You said there was an online business. From the looks of it, some of these plates look like they were being, sold for pleasure purposes that obviously maybe were not for real use. So was it all out in the open?
Yes, so this organization did operate quite overtly, both in their online store and in the temporary sales booths that they set up as well.
So where does it cross the line in terms of the law? If somebody's making plates for the purposes of, pleasure, some kind of personalization, they're not intending necessarily to use it on a vehicle versus making it for the purposes of, being involved in some criminal activity.
So in Canada, the only entities that are allowed to issue, and this is approve, manufacture, or register vanity license plates for use on vehicles, is an agency of the local provincial government. So in Ontario, we're talking about the Ministry of Transportation. Our investigators have evidence to suggest that this organization was aware that the plates they were creating were being used not only on vehicles, but also in crime incidents as well, and chose to continue to operate overtly despite that.
So you're alleging that these were used in crimes. What kind of crimes?
So a wide range of crimes, ranging from organized auto theft to carjackings, both involving firearms and knife point carjackings, trafficking of stolen vehicles, and then a significant number of flight from police incidents throughout Ontario.
From a qualitative perspective, how well made are these plates compared to the original plates in places like Ontario and Quebec?
Looking at the plates today, they're quite indistinguishable, both from an officer's perspective behind a vehicle potentially having one of these affixed to them, and just even in person coming up and looking at them, they're quite hard to distinguish between a true license plate. And
how did you come to police officers come to determine that these particular ones that you found were fake?
So the plates have some distinct features on them that pointed us to this same organization. That's how we tied the connections between the different cases involving them.
Would these plates have been registered with the province? So if someone was driving around with one of these plates and an officer got in behind them and punched the plate in, the database, would it show up as just a regular authorized license plate, or would it have shown up as a fake plate or a stolen plate? Explain that.
So if one of these plates was duplicated to a plate that was registered to another person, when an officer queried that license plate, it would come back to the true version of that plate.
So was there somebody on the inside then perhaps giving away like advice saying, oh hey, this is a black Dodge truck, make sure you make one that matches the make and model and year of that vehicle? Explain that, please.
There's not anything at this point in the investigation that leads us to believe that something like that would be occurring.
Is this kind of a business unique? I mean, have there been other charges laid in other cases where, I haven't heard of this, but is this something new?
I'm not sure about whether this has been done in other jurisdictions before. To my knowledge, this is the first appeal of this kind of investigation.
Are these kinds of materials readily available to anyone who really wants to purchase them? Can anybody just buy a license plate printer and presser and all the materials that go involved? Explain that if you would, sir.
It's hard to say. I don't want to go into the details of how they manufacture these license plates, and it's not, the materials they use are readily available though, yes.
But is there one of the major concerns that the public should have, like if you get in a car accident with one of these plates, for instance?
Well, absolutely. There's definitely a concern to the public, which is one of the reasons why we chose to investigate this. A number of these plates, as I mentioned, were involved in flight from police incidents. There are circumstances as well where we believe that these plates have been involved in collisions where the person involved in the collision fled the scene. So it's one of the main focuses on trying to shut this operation down is also to shut down the crime that's associated with these license plates.
Have there been any issues or incidents of people who actually own the legitimate license plate having police pulling them over and knocking them on the door and saying, hey, your vehicle was involved in this crime or that crime? Explain, sir.
Yes, there is. If a duplicate license plate is used in a criminal offense, there have been incidences of police following up with the true registered owner of that license plate, which was actually one of the methods in which we were able to identify how widespread this problem was.
And have any of those people been wrongfully charged? And have they had to spend time in court or legal fees?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Just coming back to what you just said a moment ago, how many plates were seized and how widespread in volume do you think that this is, at least here?
It's hard to, we're still at the early stages of the investigation, so it's hard to say exactly how many of these duplicate plates there are. We're aware of over 30 incidences of criminal activity involving these duplicated license plates, some of which were the same duplicate license plate involved in numerous criminal incidents. But I can't give you an exact number of how many plates there are.
How many people did you say were associated with the arrests so far?
So there were two individuals that we believe were in charge with operating this organization that have been arrested in relation to this case.
Were they taking out ads? Were there ads online? Was it easy for somebody to be able to find this if they were so inclined?
They had a somewhat robust social media presence, and there were, my understanding is there were some advertisements placed. I can't speak to how widespread they were, but there was an online presence, including advertising.
What platforms were they on?
They were on Instagram. I believe they had, they did have also a physical website that they sold these license plates from. That website's no longer in operation. And then they attended physical auto shows as well to have a physical sales presence as well.
Were they at the Toronto Auto Show this past February?
Yes, they were.
We'll take one more question.
What can someone do if they think maybe they bought, or if they think that one of their license plates that they legitimately own is also paired with a fake one? What should they do?
So the best thing that someone can do in that case is contact their local police jurisdiction, their non-emergency line, if basically reporting that this is happening, so that the jurisdiction can look into it.
Before you leave, get your first and last name, spelling, please.
Sure. First name is Philip, Philip. Last name is Menecola, Menecola.
Okay, Constable?
Detective Constable.
Detective Constable, great, thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.